Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming to this one after a win against Philadelphia. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at us.
Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. And it's Mozgov in at the center. Now, here's Curry. Good.
We all know how explosive Kyrie Irving is offensively. But as his team becomes a contender, he's looking to improve at the defensive end of the floor as well. And I think he will.
James against Thompson. The drive by James. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Hits the jumper in space. Smith's got 5 now. On defense, the Cavaliers. It's a 3-point game. Kicks to Green. It's rebounded by Cleveland. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one.
And going up against the team that broke their hearts a season ago in the finals.
And that, Greg, is a pain that'll last a lifetime, but they might be able to numb it a bit with a win tonight.
Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin, but you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season.
And for Irving, he did come into last year hot. I mean, he won the MVP in international play while with Team USA.
Stephen Curry again. Curry's got his second basket.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A-game rolling tonight.
Irving kicks to Love. From deep. The shot misses. The Warriors go the other way with it.
And for Kyrie, taking home the MVP in a Team USA tourney like that, it's a huge ego boost. I mean, of all the stars on that team, he shined the brightest. And I think that's going to help his confidence for this year.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
Cavaliers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Irving passes to James. Irving attacking. Back to James. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure. You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Wing shot on the way. The kick out to Irving. Buries it from 3-point range. Irving's got 5 now.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Curry against Irving. Mozgov with the block. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov. And some changes here for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Brandon Rush. And it's Barbosa in for Thompson. Then for the Cavaliers, Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Amon Shumpert has come in for J.R. Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Out of bounds, Cleveland will take possession. Now let's find out what head coach Steve Curry had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
There haven't been many players that have the physical prowess of LeBron James, and he knows that this is going to pose a lot of problems for his team. He told me the most amazing thing to him about LeBron was that he has the ability to be a force at virtually any position on the floor, from point guard to center. He can and does do it all, guys.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And some changes here for the Warriors. Spates comes in for Draymond Green, and it's Livingston in for Curry. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Varejão's checked in. It's LeBron with the drive. That one goes. Count it. James has got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
And finished off by Shumpert.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Can they get it? No good from Spates. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, and Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
Here is Livingston following the basket by LeBron James. Livingston kicks to Iguodala. Here's the screen. 5 on the clock, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And Andre Iguodala, guys, one of the most unselfish players in the league. I mean, that unselfishness for me, too, is what was put to a test last season as the former All-Star was asked by his coach, Steve Kerr, to come off the bench for the Warriors. And you know what? He did it without complaint, putting the team first.
And Cleveland making a change here. Jefferson's checked in. And for Iguodala, some have said he's unselfish, Clark, to a fault.
Yeah, and you know, a great athlete and ball handler, I think he can be much more aggressive looking to attack off the dribble. He's really unique, though, a player who puts his emphasis on the defensive end and does a really good job at that end of the floor.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Here's Dellavedova, coming off a stellar performance against Philadelphia. Livingston. Shot is off. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Cavaliers ahead, up by 9. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from a man who does not pretend. LeBron James are the textbook example of how to take responsibility and lead.
And Kevin, that's why he is the king. He doesn't say, hey, I'm just one of the 5 guys. No, he knows who he is and what he has to do. Bottom line, he's the man. Climb on my shoulders, and I'm going to take you to the promised land.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Cavaliers.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Yeah, it's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Rush in at the small forward. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter.
Well, the term dream season can be applied to Steve Kerr's first year. Comes in and sets a franchise record in wins and also wins a title for the Warriors in his first year. Still unreal.
Pass to Irving. The tray. But they recover it. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Here's Love. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Sometimes you just got to man up and take a tough foul in order to stop these free runs to the rim.
James checked in for Richard Jefferson. And the Warriors decide to take their first timeout here. They
can't guard us on the perimeter.
The bench production in that game was terrific. Points from multiple sources.
Yeah, everybody that stepped on the floor played and made a contribution, and that's always a positive thing.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Screen by Bogut. Outside, Green. Smith against Thompson. That's good. The Cavaliers leading by 10. Outside Irving. He dishes it to Mozgov, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim. Mozgov, guys, was specifically sought after by his coach, Dave Blatt. Remember, Mozgov was a favorite of his from when Blatt coached the Russian national team.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 3 assists now in this one. Mozgov and Blatt with a close connection from their international play. Mozgov was a big part of taking home a bronze medal. Remember Clark back in 2012 with Blatt?
Yeah, exactly. In Russia, and now again with the Cavs, Mozgov is showing that Blatt has great confidence and trust in his ability, and that's wonderful for a player.
Festus Ezeli, he's jacked in for the Warriors. Iguodala comes in for Brandon Rush.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him. Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And let's see now which shooting guards have been on target the most over the last 10 games. Klay Thompson, 3rd.
You know, just ask this group. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. And it's a comforting feeling for a coach to know you've got one of those guys roaming on the perimeter.
And not only can they light it up from the perimeter, Greg, but they get their buckets getting to the rim as well. I mean, aggressive moves to the basket are always going to help your shooting percentage. You got to get some easy ones to shoot a high percentage.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Spates checked in for Draymond Green. Barbosa comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Barbosa with the steal. And now Iguodala running the floor all by himself.
Now that's a momentum shifter there. A steal leading straight to a quick bucket.
Yeah, and a great way, Clark, to capitalize on the turnover. Don't waste any time. Get the ball right up the court. And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
Warriors trail by 10. Here is Livingston. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Lets it go from 11. Rebound by Anderson Varejao. The Cavaliers leading by 10. And the dunk by LeBron.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Golden State's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. A steal in transition. Here come the Cavaliers. Got it. Nice one there from Dellavedova.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
And here is Barbosa. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. There's a screen off the pick. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
So we've reached the end of the first.